In April of 1970, NASA launched what was supposed to be the third mission to land on the moon. Commander Jim Lovell and his crew were ready. Apollo 13 was a go. The team assembled. Lovell, Swigert, and Hayes in their spacesuits. Flight Director Gene Kranz in his iconic white vest. And Ken Mattingly, the command module pilot, trained and prepared for the mission of a lifetime. But just days before launch, disaster struck the crew. Ken Mattingly was exposed to measles, grounded, replaced. His dreams shattered in an instant. Enter Jack Swigert, the backup pilot, stepping into a role he never expected. The crew was skeptical, but Swigert was determined to prove himself. April 11, 1970. Saturn V roared to life. Millions watched as Apollo 13 pierced the sky. Humanity's greatest machine, carrying 3 brave souls toward the moon. For 2 days, everything was perfect. The crew floated in zero gravity, sharing meals from tubes, gazing at Earth through that tiny window. Peaceful, routine, until it wasn't. Houston, we have a problem. Those 5 words echoed through mission control. An oxygen tank had exploded. The spacecraft was dying. In space, the crew watched their spacecraft hemorrhage precious oxygen and power. On the ground, Gene Kranz and his team stared in disbelief. This was no longer a mission to the moon. This was a fight for survival. The lights went out. The temperature plummeted. With every passing hour, the crew drifted further from hope. The cold was relentless. Their breath formed clouds in the darkness. But Gene Kranz had a plan. Failure is not an option. He stood before his team, mapping a trajectory around the moon. The free return path. The only way home. Meanwhile, Ken Mattingly, the man who was grounded, spent 72 sleepless hours in the flight simulator. He found the sequence. The exact power-up procedure that would bring the crew home. A hero on the ground. Inside the lunar module, now their lifeboat, the crew huddled together, freezing, water rationed to 6 ounces per day. They were exhausted, cold, and running out of time. But they refused to give up. With no computers, no navigation systems, the crew did something extraordinary. They used paper, pencil, and their own minds to calculate the burns needed to correct their course. Pure human ingenuity. Back at mission control, every eye was glued to the screens. Every breath held. The final moments before re-entry were the most agonizing. Would the heat shield survive? Would the parachutes deploy? The capsule hit the atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour. The heat shield glowed orange, then white-hot. 3 astronauts braced for impact. This was the moment of truth. Splashdown confirmed. The capsule hit the Pacific Ocean. In mission control, decades of tension erupted. Tears, cheers, embraces. They had done the impossible. The recovery ship arrived. One by one, Lovell, Swigert, and Hayes emerged alive. Against all odds, against impossible circumstances, they had made it home. Apollo 13 never landed on the moon, but it achieved something far greater. It proved what humans can do when we refuse to fail. The crew that beat the odds. A story forever etched in the stars.